Hello Scorpio, thank you for joining me. This is your May 2017 astrology forecast with me, Anushka. This month we have the North Node moving into Leo, into your 10th house. So this puts a spotlight on your 10th house and it's forming a grand fire trine with Saturn and Uranus, which is also great news. Saturn trining Uranus is positive change and positive transformation, whilst also being supported by, that which we have built, which works. We're also able to reach out and try new things and implement new things and be innovative without completely destroying our foundations. So this is really exciting energy for this month. So first off, we start with May the 3rd, Mercury turning direct, and Mercury goes direct there in your 6th house. Your 6th house of day-to-day activities and service and health, and there's been quite a lot of activity here. Uranus is here, so there might be some changes and shifts going on in terms of your health habits, in terms of what you do. The Mercury starts going direct here, so it's safe again to trust the communication that we get from others, to make travel plans and know that they're more likely to work out okay. It's safe to sign on the dotted line, to take new opportunities. We can trust things a little bit more with Mercury direct. And maybe you've been thinking over your health habits, your routines, and what you can do to rejuvenate and to change things. So this is good news. Mercury goes direct there. It is in Aries, so there is a tendency to kind of act and think later. So just be aware of that. But all in all, it's nice that it's going direct. Then on the 9th we have the Sun trining Pluto. Sun is in your 7th house and Pluto is in your 3rd house of communication. So the Sun is putting a spotlight on your partnerships, whether it's your business partnerships or your romantic one-to-one, one-on-one partnerships. There's transformation that's possible here through communication, through new ways of looking at things, through maybe new information that's available to you, maybe new information that's available to you and your partner. Say if you've been having difficulties in some area of life, you might stumble across something which helps you to better understand one another or communicate better. Same thing with a business partnership. It might be powerful communication that helps the two of you work together better on this day. And certainly I imagine you will be feeling quite powerful on this day because, Pluto is your modern ruling planet. So I imagine that your words will have quite a lot of power about them, especially in terms of your relationships. They will affect people. So just be mindful of that. Be aware of what you say and how you say it. On the 10th, we have the North Node moving into Leo. So this is in your 10th house, and the North Node moving into Leo is asking us all to connect with our heart center and to express ourselves, express our gifts, our talents, our abilities, to be bold and brave and put ourselves out there and to be authentic and to start enjoying life again, doing the things that we love doing, connecting with our inner child. And for you, it's in your 10th house. So this is, is what you're doing a reflection of who you are? Do you love what you do? Is an expression of some part of yourself? So these are things to consider. The North Node, I always look at it as being, where we are kind of where we are led in this lifetime. So when we work with the North Node, we can work quite gracefully through karma and towards our soul's purpose in this incarnation. So in Leo, it's putting that spotlight on your 10th house, and obviously it's being affected by the Saturn and Uranus trine, which pours positive energy into your 10th house. So if you haven't been doing something that you feel is a reflection of who you truly are, now's the time to start thinking about what you could do, even if it's starting a hobby or taking a hobby seriously and putting that out there into the world and seeing what comes of that. That could be an idea. Also on the 10th, we've got a full moon in your sign. And so this puts the spotlight on you, and this any healing that needs to be done, any hurt that you've kind of been through recently. We've had Venus retrograde, so there's been a lot going on, in terms of love. So this is lovely energy for just healing anything about just anything to do with you really and how you feel about yourself. There's a really positive, nurturing energy for you, Scorpio, and puts a spotlight on you, on how you feel about yourself, how secure you feel in yourself. And this is a nice day to just take time out to, I would take some time to yourself to just nurture yourself and give yourself that space, you know, just honor that full moon, give yourself some nurturing space. And if there is anything that needs to be healed, then, you know, that might be highlighted on this day, and you can certainly work with that full moon energy. As well as that, you might be feeling quite kind of sensual, you might be feeling quite passionate. This could be a bit of a romantic time between you and your partner. If you have one, if you don't have one, you could be feeling quite kind of drawn to somebody, or drawn to having kind of a kind of steamy experience with somebody. So that's another thing to be mindful of. On the 11th then, excuse me, on the 11th we've got Mars, your ancient ruling planet, and that's in Gemini, in your 8th house. Sorry, that's Mars is in Gemini, in your 8th house. And Mars is fairly comfortable here. You're comfortable with Mars here because Scorpio rules the 8th house. And so, but Mars is squaring Neptune. Neptune in your 5th house of Pisces. So this to me is interesting. This can speak to possibly buying into illusions, getting caught up in fantasy, maybe putting energy into fantasy. I mean, it could be that you meet somebody and you start getting distracted with ideas of them and fantasizing about them, or lusting after something. That's how I see this energy playing out. It's kind of lustful, fantasizing kind of energy. You could use it, on the other hand, in a creative way and for inspiration. If you're artistic in any way, this could be really positive. That's one way to channel this energy. But just watch out for, over fantasizing or getting caught up in maybe a little bit of an illusion to do with romance. Just be mindful of that. But if you can use creatively, then that's fantastic. Right, also, what else have we got going on? Also on the 11th, this is where I would direct your energy if I were you. Also on the 11th, we've got Mercury in your 6th house, and that's trining Saturn in your 2nd house. And this is really where the growth is on this day, because Mercury trining Saturn is organizational ability. And so Mercury being in your 6th house, which is the house of organization and details and planning, trining Saturn in that 2nd house, you could be coming up with, this could be a good day to make a financial plan or restructure your finances. Look at your bank, check all your direct debits, your standing orders. Are you paying for things that maybe you don't need to be paying for anymore? This is a good time to just review that and get your business head on, essentially. This can create opportunities in terms of, you might spot an opportunity to kind of invest a little bit of money somewhere that could pay off. Or it could be that you spot an opportunity to save some money. Like I said, sometimes we pay for things. I know with me, for example, I've had subscriptions to things and I've forgotten about them, and it's only been when I've decided to organise my bank accounts, I go, oh my goodness, I don't even need that anymore, and you cancel it. And so it could be like a little opportunity to save some money somewhere. So that's a good day for organising in general. On the 12th, we've got Mars in your 8th house, trining Jupiter in your 12th house in Libra. This to me says insights of the kind of spiritual kind. So you might get a message or kind of an insight, or just feel more connected to more otherworldly things. This is quite kind of metaphysical energy. That's how I see that. It can be luck. But because this is your 8th house and your 12th house, I'm seeing this more as perhaps you're getting insights, spiritual, psychological kind of insights that kind of might give you an expanded view of yourself in some sort of way. So that's an interesting energy. Let me know how that goes. On the 16th, Mercury enters Taurus. So it goes from your 6th house, where your mind's been very busy on the day-to-day and on health and on work habits and service, and now it goes into your 7th house, focusing your mind on relationships and one-to-one partnerships. And so, you know, in Taurus, we tend to take our time more in terms of making decisions, in terms of communicating. So you might be really kind of thinking through your relationship, thinking through the kind of partner that you want if you don't have a partner, and taking the time to really consider what's right for you. That's on the 16th. On the 19th, that's when Saturn and Sagittarius meet up for that trine. Now, for you, this is in your second house. And, sorry, this is when I said Saturn and Sagittarius, didn't I? This is when Saturn and Uranus meet up for that trine. So for you, this is between your second house and your sixth house. So this is transforming your money and your service. This also impacts your 10th house as well. So how I see this is this can work out as, if it's related to health, if there's somewhere where you have been stuck maybe in a bad habit, bad eating habits, or health habits, smoking, whatever it could be, and you found the pattern hard to break, this energy is really great for transforming that, for changing that, because we feel brave enough to try something new, and Saturn gives structure and a groundedness to this energy. And this could have, obviously, you know, when we make better decisions in terms of what we eat and what we drink and these kinds of things, it has an impact on our finances. You know, if you're partying all the time, then that's draining your resources. So it could play out in that kind of a way, you know, that you could break free finally of some health habit that's been holding you back, or at the same time, this could really be transforming the work you do in the world, the service that you give, whatever that may be. And really, there could be an opportunity for you to implement something new into what you do, and this could lead to great results, you know, and impact that 10th house. So this is really great. This is the opportunity to kind of fuse what you know works with innovation, and to try different things, whether it be in terms of your health or in terms of your career or finances, you know, and it could have a really positive impact. That's on the 19th. Then on the 20th, the Sun enters your 8th house. So the Sun goes from the house of one-to-one partnerships into that 8th house. It joins Mars there. And so this shines a spotlight on your shared resources, your on intimacy, on inheritances, on the occult, on in-depth psychology, investigative work, that kind of thing. So the Sun goes into Gemini, shining a light on these things, and it's 5 days later there's a new moon in this 8th house as well. So this is like a fresh beginning, a fresh start. There's a recharge happening in your 8th house. So this could be to do with how you handle the resource between you and your partner. There could be a fresh start here. Maybe you have more income coming in all of a sudden and you can contribute more, or maybe they do and they can contribute more. So there could be some sort of fresh start there. It could also be on an emotional level. It could be that you have released something that needed to be released for quite some time, so now you have the opportunity to start afresh. So that's really lovely energy. I really like that for you. And that's on the 25th. So then moving on to the 29th, we've got Mars in that 8th house again, and it's opposing Saturn in your 2nd house. So here I see a bit of a conflict between financial responsibilities and your desires. So it could be that you feel a little bit like you just want to escape on some level, and there could be a feeling of not really wanting to have to deal with finances, with resources, with the kind of more mundane aspects of life, and just feeling like you want to escape. So there just might be something to kind of try and moderate on this day. So I'd just be aware of that if I were you. And then on the 31st, Mars sextiles Uranus. Uranus being in that 6th house of yours. And this is a bit of a strange day, you know, because Mars was there in that 8th house. So this is kind of, and sextiling Uranus, sextiling Uranus. This is restlessness, you know. leading on from the 29th, you know, you're feeling a little bit restless, you're feeling like you don't really want to commit to maybe your responsibilities, your obligations, and you're craving new experiences on some level. That Mars in your 8th is really kind of, it's putting a bit of a spanner in the works here and there, because you basically, what's happening is your soul is wanting growth, it's wanting expansion, and that is coming soon. And what with the Saturn trine Uranus, that's where the expansion is. But you just might find yourself feeling like, oh, I want to shirk off my responsibilities a little bit. Just try and moderate that as much as you can, but try and get your new experiences through how you change your relationship with perhaps money, or how you change your relationship with your health habits, that kind of a thing, and the service you give to others. That's where the change can be implemented really effectively. Thank you very much for listening, Scorpio. I'll be back next month, and if you'd like to catch up with me in the meantime, then I'll be doing a new moon and a full moon video for this month of May. But all in all, I think it's a really positive month for most of us, and there's some great energy for change and for transformation. And the North Node in Leo is reminding us all to just start having fun again and doing what it is that we love, following our passions and connecting with people from a real heart center. So thank you so much for watching, Scorpio, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.